Afade Guam, the last 12 months have been a challenging and somewhat triumphant time for many island residents. This year, we saw a new administration in January being sworn into office with the pledge to steer the island Bree in a new direction.
We also saw changes at the Guam Memorial Hospital as the entire board was removed and replaced. As well, the hospital's accreditation status was changed from full accreditation to accreditation with follow-up survey. That is definitely a story to look out for in 2012.
Also this year, we finally saw the opening of the Barragata Tri intersection. And of course, we all know the nightmare that was, not only for motorists traveling through that very busy area, but for businesses that were impacted by the various road construction projects.
It was also historic when in March, members of the 31st Guam Legislature and Congresswoman Madeline Verdalio marched in solidarity to the gate of Fenna Lake in hopes to send a strong message to the federal government that Guam shouldn't pay a single dime for Fenna or allow a member of the Department of Defense to sit on the Consolidated Commission on Utilities, the latter of which was removed with the passage of the 2012 National Defense Authorization Act.
Now, there were several notable stories that took place in the last year, but only 10 made our list. Let's now take a look.
Number 10.
On behalf of the people of Guam, welcome to JFK.
After being shut down 3 years ago due to health and safety violations, this year the ribbon was finally cut on the new home of the Islanders. It's story number 10 in our countdown.
You've made it through double sessions, moving from one school to another, and you continue to press on and on. And still the JFK Islanders stood behind their beliefs and said, "This is our school, and this is where we belong."
John F. Kennedy High School finally joined the rest of the DOE schools, albeit the opening of the school year having been delayed. The Islander community, from students, administrators, and teacher Angelo Andrus, kept placing the political pressure on elected leaders to rebuild the campus, and 2011 finally bore the fruits of their labor.
It's been a long 3 years to actually come back home, and we're really excited.
Along with island dignitaries, hundreds of students filled the campus in August, getting a first-hand glimpse of what's to come this school year. Assistant Principal for Special Programs, Asher D. Rossetti.
It was worth the wait. When they see the facility, it's amazing, and I think the students will be very impressed.
Interim Superintendent Taling Taitano said the ribbon cutting marked the end of the quest to rebuild JFK and at the beginning of a new journey, and that journey for more than 2,300 students started Monday, August 29th.
Welcome to John F. Kennedy High School.
While school may have started, however, there were a few setbacks. Flooring for the gym and dance floor were not completed, and the cafeteria was not ready for use. Hopefully, those issues will be resolved when students return from Christmas break.
Number 9.
Coming in at number 9 in our countdown of the top 10 stories of 2011 is the closure of the ORDOT dump and the opening of the Ladzon landfill. It took a federal court order and millions of dollars to do what some might say the government should have done a long time ago. On August 31st, 2011, the gates to the ORDOT dump were finally locked. It was 7 years ago the ORDOT consent decree was signed, but with a lack of action by the government, District Court of Guam Chief Judge Francis Hidinko Gatewood ordered Federal Receiver Gershman, Brickner, and Bratton to take over managing Guam's solid waste. Now that the gates to the dump are locked, plans will be set in motion to cap it and construct stormwater and leachate and landfill gas controls. GBB's David Manning.
There are issues with respect to how you deal with leachate, the water that comes out of the dump, and all of those are fairly technical engineering problems that will have to be thought through and information collected on, and then a plan approved by both Guam EPA and US EPA, and then a construction period. So my guess is we're looking at 3 years or so.
And just a day after ORDOT was closed, a ceremony was held in Inarajan on September 1st, commemorating the opening of the new Ladzon landfill. Although residents, including Inarajan Mayor Franklin Taitagui, disagreed with having a landfill in his village, he says his feelings changed after the new landfill opened.
After I talked to the judge, she is assuring the citizens of Inarajan that controls and protection for our health and environment is certainly in place, and the receiver is also on top of all these concerns and issues.
Number 8.
The next story in our countdown is from the village of Mangilao, where a 15-year-old girl alleged that she was abducted when she was walking along the road near New Green Park condos on a Saturday night in December.
Individuals pulled up in a dark-colored sedan and put a cloth over her head and pulled her into the vehicle and took her to a jungle area where they sexually assaulted her. She reported about 4 male individuals are the ones that sexually assaulted her.
The girl alleged her assailants were described as being Chukis and threatened to kill her if she did not cooperate. When she reported the crime to cops, she was completely wet from head to toe and covered in grass and mud.
The victim has to be interviewed. She was traumatized and very shaken up by the ordeal. And so the immediate response was to get the initial information and then get her taken care of at GMH.
The crime sparked concern throughout the island, including the Micronesian community. FSM Consul General Senior Foreign Affairs Officer Robson Romulo spoke on behalf of Consul General Robert Recho.
So I encourage everybody, be vigilant and look out. And if you know who these people are, please identify to the appropriate authorities. And for these people, you know who you are. You're not gonna hide from this. It will come to a point where you will be identified and brought to justice. So I ask that you help us, bring yourself in, so we can close these incidents and will be dealt appropriately.
4 days after the rape, the Guam Police Department's Criminal Investigation Division arrested 3 people after the victim was able to identify one of the suspects, of which she had prior knowledge. Arrested were Petrus Martin Jr. of Mangilao on 2 counts of first-degree criminal sexual conduct and felonious restraint, Alaf Munik of Mangilao for first and second-degree criminal sexual conduct, kidnapping, felonious restraint, assault, jurisdiction over an adult, and child abuse. A 15-year-old boy from Harmon was also taken into custody for first-degree criminal sexual conduct and consumption of alcohol.
During the course of the investigation, all suspects admitted to sexually assaulting the female minor and were arrested for various charges.
Now trust us when we tell you that we are just warming up, so please stay tuned. Our countdown of the top 10 stories of the year continues in just a moment.
But first, here's a look at the top 10 most read stories on KUAM.com.